Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 20th. We're just going to jump right in here, Scorpio, and we are going to see what is going on for you at this time. And that'll be that. I don't think I've ever seen this card in this deck. I could be wrong, but it says progression on it, and it also says journey on it as well. So I feel you are on a journey. Look at this. This is super interesting because you have the no place like home card, Hermit, Nine of Swords, Nine of Wands. It's like not wanting to leave home, not wanting to go on a journey. But at the same time, look at this journey is going to change your destiny, right? With the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is really your destiny, your personal vision for your life. So you have this no place like home card. I do feel like you're getting ready to leave this though. And I'm not saying you're just like staying home, right? But what I am saying is that some of you might be in a little bit of a comfort zone, like in work or business or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like you have been on this journey to kind of like figure out what else to do or what direction to go in. So it's like you're kind of thinking about a new direction here. In this row, you have the Hermit, the Hangman, and the Fool. I feel that the Hermit is some introspection. It's like you've been taking time to learn as much as you can about, you know, love, life, everything that you've been doing. And now you're kind of like standing here. You know, the thing about the Hermit is that he's standing at the top of the mountain and his feet might be frozen. But the story of the Hermit is that he could easily change his situation by putting that lantern down by his feet, which basically the lantern represents everything he's learned. And, you know, it would free him up. He would be able to set himself free. He would be able to move in a new direction. You also have the Hangman. The Hangman is a card of being stuck in limbo, right? It's really, the Hangman puts himself in Hangman mode. He sacrifices the use of his arms and his legs so that he can gain enlightenment. The Hermit, similar, but different. So I feel like you've gained enlightenment. And then, boom, you have the Fool. It's like every single thing in your first row here is like saying, move, take the leap of faith, right? Jump towards something new that you are clearly prepared for. He has this tiny little sack on his back. And I always say that the tiny little sack says he has everything he needs right here, right between his two ears. He doesn't need anything else. He's got everything he needs. And I feel you need to realize that with the Fool, that you are like more than prepared to be successful at this time. So like I would get moving with this Fool energy. Next you have this Rhino spirit. It says overcome any obstacle. I feel like you had some obstacles or have had obstacles, and that's probably what you've been learning about or having to learn about. And now I feel like you're moving, you need to move in the right direction, basically. You have the Four Swords, the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. So this is like a very, kind of like a very stuck energy here. Four Swords isn't so bad. The Nine of Swords, some people consider it to be the worst card in the tarot. I don't look at tarot as good or bad. To me, it's just, you know, opportunity and things that we have to learn, right? And it's a loose guidance at best, as I always say. But the Nine of Swords is like waking, you know, having a nightmare, waking up and being in a nightmare. I feel for a lot of you, this reading is saying you have the power to change something that has been a nightmare or has been keeping you stuck. The Nine of Wands, I kind of feel is your solution. The Nine of Wands is a card of perseverance. It says, you know, obviously don't give up, which I feel like I said to you in your last reading as well. But I definitely get that feeling of needing to be perseverant and also maybe needing to be a little bit persistent as well. I feel like you need to kind of, you know, keep trying to do something that you want to do in your life. And I feel that this card is saying that you need to experiment. Nine of Wands is my card of like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's a card of trying a bunch of different things to find out what works. And I feel that's going to be the easiest way for you to overcome any challenges. Although it's like, here's the thing, is that, you know, with the Hermit, he's standing at the top of the mountain. It's like he has overcome the challenge. He has overcome the obstacle. There's really nothing that he necessarily needs to do because he's already done it. So I feel like you need to realize that. This person here, there's a person, two people actually in that stained glass window, and I'll show you over here. It's like this person is blessing the other person. So I do feel some of you are kind of like hoping for blessings. And again, the blessing that you could be hoping for is freedom, But really, you have this journey card that I can't pick up. And this card says progression. I do feel like you're on a journey. I feel like you've been going through a journey. It's interesting that you have the Wheel of Fortune. It's kind of like the wheel of the zodiac signs, right? And I feel that the Wheel of Fortune progresses. You have a progressed chart in astrology, and I feel like you're kind of like getting to this point where you are progressing. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Page of Wands is a card of a journey or going on an adventure, plain and simple. The Ace of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune, I just said Ace of Wands, so it might pop up, but the Wheel of Fortune is a change in your destiny or your luck. You're becoming very lucky, I feel, with this card. I also feel like you've learned a lot. It's like every single one of these signs, you have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, which, one of those cards is you, but they all have these books that they're holding on to, and I feel like you've learned a lot, and I feel like you need to use that knowledge, but I also feel this is saying it's time to get moving so that you can take control of your destiny. Again, the Page of Wands, he's very excited to go on an adventure, so I would get moving on some sort of adventure. And the Three of Cups is a celebration. I feel like you're going to celebrate the end of this adventure. It's a very simple reading. Again, there's no reason to overcomplicate it. That's why I'm kind of flying through it, because I feel like it's very simple. And it's it's just pretty simple. One thing I'm noticing here, by the way, is that right here, there is this, you see this spiral thing right here? There's a card in this deck that says round and round. And you also have, look at this. You have these spirals on, if it wants to focus, on the rhino right here. So I kind of feel this energy that if you've been in a round and round situation, really the best thing you can do is get moving on your journey, moving towards something new. So let's see, we're going to clarify with the after tarot here, and I just want to see, can we figure out what your journey is? Can we figure out what you are moving towards, what cycle you're ending, or let's see what details we get about that. With the Hermit, you have the High Priestess. I feel like you need to kind of trust your intuition with the High Priestess. She has these keys that she's holding on to on this High Priestess, on the after tarot. I almost feel like it's saying you have discovered the key to success with that Hermit through maybe some difficulties or challenges that you've been through. And I feel you really need to kind of pay attention to, the things that you have learned, because there might be some answers in your challenges, right? If you had challenges in business, you might have learned some things that are going to make your next business super successful. Same thing in relationships as well. It's I always get tons of comments from people that are oh, I was hurt. I'm giving up on relationships. I'm never having a relationship again. And I always say, first off, dramatic. Second off, it's you're throwing away everything that you learned by doing that. And I'm not saying we have to have relationships, but, if you want love, if deep down inside you want love, then I would say, look at what you learned. With the Hangman, you have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, I think, the Ten of Swords just says dead, done, over with. I feel this is saying that you are done with Hangman mode. It is time to get moving. It is time for you to move towards the Wheel of Fortune, which is your true destiny. With the Fool, you have the Six of Swords. Love it. It's this Six of Swords in the after tarot. These people have made it to the other side. They've crossed the choppy waters. And you have two cards here of going through a rite of passage. The Hermit and the Six of Swords both kind of represent a rite of passage, going through something, to get to the other side, or going through something so that you can have something better. And I feel this is saying you don't have to stay there any longer. It's almost the first part of the reading is you staying in choppy waters. And again, trust me, I've been there. It's sometimes I think we get so used to being uncomfortable that then we don't want to leave comfort. It's almost we learn to be uncomfortable, and then leaving discomfort becomes uncomfortable, right? And it's sometimes we just have certain limitations and we're not willing to change them for whatever reason. So I feel this is saying no, you've learned everything you need to learn from challenges, difficulties, whatever. Now it's time to take control. With the Four of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords. So Nine of Swords twice in this row. Again, the Nine of Swords reminds me that you have the choice whether whether to be the bug or the windshield, as I always say. You have a choice whether to experience a nightmare, or you can say, see here, he's taking control of his nightmare and he's hitting this dragon, lizard, whatever you want to call it. So I kind of feel like you've made the choice to stand up for yourself and to, conquer your demons with this with this Nine of Swords energy. So I definitely feel you've chosen to be the windshield, right? With the Nine of Swords, you have the Ace of Pentacles. There's a new opportunity coming in for you. I feel like there could be like a new scary opportunity that's coming in. It's not scary in the sense that you're like afraid of it. I feel like it's scary in the sense that maybe it's big, you don't feel qualified, or maybe you feel like something, right? This is giving me kind of like imposter syndrome vibes, this whole entire reading. And, imposter syndrome is feeling like you're an imposter, feeling like you're not good enough or that you don't deserve something when you actually do. So I feel like you need to realize that you are not an imposter. It kind of reminds me, I was listening to a guy, I don't remember who, like a while ago, and he was basically talking about people thinking that they need to be an expert to like share their information on YouTube. And he said, okay, he's like, well, if you've read like 5 books about a topic, he's like, you're an expert. You know more than most people. So it's like the barrier to entry, the barrier to, being an expert on something is very, very small, right? And that's what he was saying. I kind of get that feeling for you here where it's like you feel like you need some things, certain qualifications, or maybe you have these rules that, society has planted in your head for you to be or do something that is your destiny, this Wheel of Fortune right here, right? I feel that's what this Ace of Pentacles is talking about. But it's like Hermit, right? Six of Swords, the Fool. You're ready. The Hermit and the Six of Swords says you've been through it. You've met the qualification. The Fool says it's time for you to take a leap of faith. With the Nine of Wands, you have the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is being at a stalemate. Two of Swords I look at as a card of mediation. It's like she's trying to make a decision for these two people. She's mediating their battle. But, it can be a card of coming to an agreement, coming to a conclusion, things like that. But to me, really, the Two of Swords is about going somewhere else. I always say there's this new island behind her, and it kind of represents a third place, something new. And I've been talking about a third place for quite a while, Scorpio. To me, I feel that there is a third place to everything that we're dealing with. We're dealing with a lot of problems in the world. The reason I think there's a lot of reasons why we're not solving the problems, but, I don't want to get into that. But what I will say is that I feel like there's a third place where it's like everybody's this side, that side, but there's actually probably something better that's like not even in the middle. It's like all the way over here but again, it's going to require us. The changes can come from us. It's not going to come from, the president or someone in the government or whatever, right? I think we're learning that, or if you haven't already, I think pretty much everyone's learning that everybody in the government is basically a bozo, like a paid bozo, right? So, what I would say here is that I feel like the solutions are going to come from us. And once we discover solutions to problems it's probably a third place, something that no one's ever thought of, or something that no one thought could work about any problem that you can possibly imagine. That's where, the genius is going to come from, as I always say. With the Wheel of Fortune, you have the King of Pentacles here. King of Pentacles is really good because I feel like you're creating permanent positive change with that Wheel of Fortune. The King of Pentacles is a card of convention. It's like the card of the way things, have always been. But at the same time, it's a very like steady, stable Taurus, one foot in front of the other type of energy, right? So I feel for a lot of you, Scorpio people, you're kind of like creating that energy in your life where it's like maybe it might be a little slow right now with this what you're trying to progress towards, but it's much more stable, feels much more comfortable and much better than the Nine of Swords, basically. I also do feel there could be like an earth sign coming in for you. With the Page of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is what you need to leave behind. Again, the whole entire reading is saying go on the journey, go on the adventure, so you can set yourself free. Four of Pentacles, look, there's like the death guy behind him, and he's about to, create a change. The Four of Pentacles is about holding on too tightly to the past, holding on too tightly to what you've always known. So he needs to like release everything so that he can experience something new. With the Three of Cups, you have the Three of Cups. So definitely a celebration. If you're thinking about doing something new, starting a new project, Ace of Pentacles. If you're thinking about accepting a new opportunity, if you're thinking about progressing, then there's going to be a lot of success for you. But let's see. I just want to get a final outcome here, Scorpio. Top row outcome, Lovers. Definitely could be an earth sign coming in for you in love if you're looking for love. The Lovers is being at a crossroads. It's like you have a choice. Stay where you are, make progress. It's up to you. Really, and this is not a judgment, by the way. It's like sometimes there's nothing wrong with staying where you are. So, again, it's just a choice. I don't see it as like being right or wrong. Middle row, you have the Four of Cups. I feel like this is what you need to let go of. Four of Cups is a card of being disappointed by the past, being disappointed by things that you've experienced in the past and all this other stuff. And again, I feel like if you're judging a new situation based off of past experience, that's going to be a problem, because I feel like a new situation is not like I said, it's a third place situation here, where it's like, if you're experiencing new love, it's like unlike anything you've ever experienced before. That's what this reading is. There's an opportunity coming in for you that is unlike anything you've ever seen before, but I feel like you need to realize it's a completely different situation. It's not like anything you've seen before. So it really can't be judged by what you've experienced. Yeah. You have the Two of Wands. Look, Two of Wands, I kid you not. Here's the thing. Two of Wands, the whole story about the Two of Wands is that this guy, he's standing at the top of the castle, and he rushed to be successful. He kind of didn't enjoy the journey, right? And he rushed to success. So he feels like what he has experienced is all there is to experience. Normally, he's looking out at the world. He has a whole world in his hands. It's like he doesn't realize that there are a million ways to experience something. Exactly what I've been saying this whole entire time. Very simple reading. Scorpio, I feel that something new, a new opportunity that's coming in for you is unlike anything you've experienced before, but you need to embrace it and allow it into your life, because I feel like it's going to progress you on your journey, right? Pretty simple. Love it. Thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really, this is a good week. So thank you for being here. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.